You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
what will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality Bloodsport. This is episode 2. I hope you guys all enjoyed episode 1. It was a tight one. We have some winners. Looking forward to moving on to round 2. But for today, we're going to be heading out to the West Coast, where we're going to have Kylie versus Dean and Matt versus Chris. And I assume that it'll be just as exciting as that first round of games. So let's go and meet those competitors.
Okay, let's get to game 1 of episode 2. But as you can tell, this isn't Matt who gave the intro to this episode. And Jeff, you're here too.
Yeah, it turns out Matt wanted to do one final spot check, going through the list just to make sure everything was ready, setting the stage for today's excellent game. And unfortunately, he got stuck in some coagulated blood. You know, those tracks on the Matt robot just don't work in this kind of environment. So we're taking over for him right now. Hopefully he'll get his repair team back out there and he'll be back for the next match.
As they say, it's always the pesky coagulated blood.
Always.
Yeah, but we have some special guests here, as we are going to have on every episode of Bloodsport. So let's start with our competitors for this first match for today's episode. Coming to us from El Paso, Texas, by way of Fort Bliss, Dean Bratton. How are you, Dean?
Good to see you. Good to be here with you guys. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, so nice to have you here. Tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself.
Dean Bratton. I'm currently in the military just till February, then I get to retire. But on the
congrats.
Time, I do community theater. So tonight, our second showing of Bus Stop. We just started. We opened last night, so we got 3 more weeks of performances to go. And so far, it's going well. No tomatoes were harmed in this production so far, so it's successful.
Well, we appreciate you taking some time before the performance to come here and compete, and we hope you break a leg tonight. So thank you for joining us and for being a patron. And you're going to be going up against a pretty stiff competitor coming to us from Mesa, Arizona, Kylie Diggs. How are you, Kylie?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing wonderful. Remind the folks at home a little bit about you.
Kylie Diggs. I am a trivia writer. I own Brainwave Trivia, and I write content for bars around the country. I host trivia. And yeah, other than that, it's just like trivia life, hashtag all the time, all day, all night. I'm excited to play. I'm so nervous though, because coming in saying like, oh yeah, I own a trivia company and I write trivia for a living, that sets the bar pretty high. So hopefully I can prove my bona fides here.
Well, it does sound very familiar, because if you are listening right now and you heard the first episode, you know that there was a game where someone mentioned a pretty exclusive club and it didn't really help them. So hopefully we'll see what happens this episode here. But let's throw it to our host with the most, Ryan Myers. How are you today? And we are so excited to hear some new questions for today's matches.
Well, howdy. I am doing well. I am here, as we've reminded people in previous episodes, that it is not fun sport, it is blood sport. Because, just as an aside to y'all, these have been some rough first rounds.
And we're excited to see how they do today, because we have some pretty good competitors here today. So, Dean,
yes, we do.
Yeah, Dean and Kylie, I hope you're ready.
Ready as I'm going to be. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Excellent. I will just be reading questions. You'll be both answering them. Best of 12 wins. Starting with question number 1. Albert and Freddie are 2 giants of blues guitar that share what surname? Despite this, they're still not the most famous person in their genre and instrument with this last name.
I will lock in.
Oh, that's a quick double lock in. Kylie, what surname are you providing me with?
So I am just going educated guess here, and I locked in with King.
And Dean?
I had B.B. King. That's pretty much.
Yeah, BB King's the most famous person there, whose first name is Riley, by the way, like decades before that was popular. Yeah, all share the surname King. Albert King is very highly underrated. Hey, let's move to number 2. By what 2-word name is halite more commonly known? That is Halite. Halite, more commonly known. This mineral is often used to cure fish or bacon, as well as manage ice in areas where it may be dangerous.
Okay, so 2-word name, halite rings no bells for me. And I know that curing things is often salt. And the thing about managing ice when it's dangerous, that makes me think of when you put down salt, like if your sidewalks are iced in the Midwest or something. And I don't know exactly if this is right, but I'm going to guess rock salt.
Okay, and Dean, what's your guess?
I was going along the same thought process, but I, instead of salt, rock salt, I put sodium chloride because you said mineral, but
halite is specifically rock salt.
All right.
So a point for Kylie there. Let's do number 3. By way of Old Saxon and Old French, what 9-letter word's etymology has its roots in meaning to provide shelter for? In modern usage, it is used to mean something that signals something soon to come, usually in a negative manner.
okay, I'm locked in.
All right, Kylie, have a swing at it. Talk it out if you need to.
Well, I thought I had it, and then I counted the letters in the word that I wrote down, and it's 10, not 9. So now I'm trying to come up with a different form of said word.
You're good. You still have some time to answer.
I will go with forebodes.
Forebodes. And Dean?
I chose harbinger.
And harbinger is correct.
Ah, nice. Nice one.
Great poll.
Very well done.
I was the first thought that came to my head, and I told Jeff storm, but that's definitely not French. But it is 9 letters, so it made me feel good. So,
hey, number 4. The primary antagonists from which film franchise get their name from the Greek for foreign shape?
I'll lock in.
All right, Dean, you can think some more. Talk it out.
I'm thinking it could be the exomorphs that are in. Is that Alien? I'm just going to go with Alien film franchise.
All right, with Alien. And Kylie?
I also said alien.
Yep, it's xeno for strange or foreign and morph for shape. The xenomorphs are from Alien. Well done, both of you. Hey, let's do number 5. An absurdly large number of people think it's a spooky castle or something, when in reality, it's just some cypress trees. This is specifically in regards to the left third of which work of art?
I'm going to go with a guess. I'm just going to guess something.
All right.
I mean, there's
Dean's
so
got his
many things. I'm
guess.
just going to say Starry Night. I don't know.
I was about to guess lock in Mona Lisa, but I don't think that's even close to right. So I'll just say that.
The correct answer is The Starry Night by
Damn
Vincent
it.
van
Well,
Gogh.
that was a guess.
Oh. Yeah, it's there. It's some cypress trees, but
Okay.
like so many people think it's there's I've seen articles on this that people think it's a spooky castle. Maybe just because they see it when they're young and don't think about it. I don't know. But yeah, The Starry Night by Van Gogh is correct. Let's do number 6. What Chinese American woman was robbed of Nobel Prize recognition when her colleagues received the award for her namesake experiment that proved parity is not conserved in physics?
I have no guess. I'm out. I'm not even going to pretend I know this one. So,
all right,
pass.
Kylie, take a. You can take your time to think. You still got like 40 seconds or something. But
Yikes, Ryan.
You got it on this one. I'm going to look this up as soon as you're done.
I'll just guess rather than tap, and I'll just say Chen.
Always a good try. She's basically Rosalind Franklin, but the one people don't remember. It's Chen Sheng Wu. Chen Sheng Wu.
Okay.
She worked on the Manhattan Project as well. She was very important, and she got passed over for pretty obvious reasons, unfortunately. Thanks, culture. Hey,
sounds about right.
My lovely Triviality friends, how are we looking going into the second half of the game?
So far, it's been a great match, punch for punch here, but the scores are fairly high. So it's 3 for Kylie and 4 for Dean. So still anyone's game, but the scores are getting up there. So, yeah.
Let's do number 7. Barbara Jordan in 1976, Mario Cuomo in 1984, Ann Richards in 1988, and Barack Obama in 2004 have given what are generally considered some of the greatest speeches in American history, all of which were delivered at what event?
Okay. I'm fairly confident in my guess.
Me too.
What are you thinking it is, Kylie?
I think it's the Democratic National Convention.
And Dean?
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Democratic National Convention.
It's the DNCs in those various years, absolutely. All right, let's do number 8. Let's go to geography. What name is shared by a city in Queensland, Australia, and a group of colonies in West Africa that would eventually become the independent nation of Ghana?
I can lock in.
Locked. Okay, Dean, you can take your time, think it out, do what you need.
Queensland, Australia, and Ghana. Okay. I'm gonna go with, I don't know. I'm gonna have to guess. I'm just gonna guess. Darwin. Or no. Let me take it back. I'm gonna guess. Not Darwin, but the other one, Perth. I'm gonna guess Perth. But I don't know.
All right, a guess of Perth. And Kylie?
I said Gold Coast.
And Gold Coast is the correct answer here.
That's a lucky pull for me because I have family there.
Oh, that's... that's as good as any reason to know. All right, question number 9. Which iconic French fashion designer passed away in early 2022 and rose to prominence in the 1970s for his hyper-feminine, avant-garde approach to high fashion, as well as his active anti-racist approaches to runways? He may be best remembered for designing Cardi B's floral loom for the 2019 Grammys and Demi Moore's dress for Indecent Proposal.
I think I'm locked in.
Okay, so I didn't have really any notion, but then I'm thinking of that dress from Indecent Proposal, which was quite strappy, which makes me think it might be Jean-Paul Gaultier is my guess.
Jean-Paul Gaultier. And Dean?
I don't know. I said Karl Lagerfeld.
R.I.P. Met Gala. Neither of you correct on this one. It's Thierry Mugler. Let's go to question number 10. The O in its logo is stylized to look like a degree symbol, which makes sense given its name. Though, to be fair, that name references a general range of prices instead of degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. Founded in 2002, what is this chain of businesses?
Bunch of nothing. I'm drawing little 70 degrees over here, but that's not helping. Something with an O in it, looking for a range of prices. This is so wrong, but I'll just say Big Lots because that has an O in it and they sell stuff at a variety of prices.
All right, Big Lots. And Dean, over to you.
Oh, I just said Oxygen because I don't know.
Oxygen. The correct answer, it's a chain of like discount stores, like dollar stores, and it's called Five Below.
Oh, yeah. I never go there.
I have never heard of that in my entire life, so I don't feel bad about missing it.
All right, we're going to go to question 11. In terms of public health and disease prevention, what does PPE stand for?
I was about to lock in, but I'm worried that this seems so much easier than the previous question, so I don't want to underthink it. But PPE, I believe, is personal protective equipment.
And Dean?
Personal protective equipment.
It absolutely is, yes, of course. You all have PTSD from 2020, you know that.
For a quick score check, it looks like both competitors are at 6 points. So this question is going to decide it.
And
wow.
we have a tiebreaker afterwards in case it's still tied. So, question 12. Mary Roberts Rinehart has 2 literary legacies. The first is the Had But I Known story, in which the narrator laments their actions over the course of the book before we find out what exactly they did. And which famous cliche from her 1930 mystery novel, The Door?
All right, so my initial thought was the Dark and Stormy Night thing, but I think that was earlier, and I think that was a male author, so I locked in with The Butler Did It.
And Dean?
The Butler Did It. That's my cliche.
And that is the correct cliche, so we're going to have to go to a little tiebreaker here.
Oh my God.
After the 12th question, it is still tied 7-7. So what we're going to do is have one extra question, and we'll see if we can have a winner after that. And if not, then we'll do a closest to the pin or a fist fight, and we'll decide it there. Ryan, take it away.
Okay. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced its class of 2023 inductees this last week. Please name any 2 of the 3 women that are being inducted as regular members this year. Or if anything, take 3 guesses and whoever gets the most can do it. Because if you both just get 1, then we have to default. So you can get up to 3 points on this one, I guess.
Okay. I got Shaka Khan, Celine Dion, and Bonnie Raitt. I don't know.
All right. And Kylie.
I said Bonnie Raitt, Chrissy Hind, and Melissa Etheridge.
Your 3 correct answers are Kate Bush, coming off of a hot year with Stranger Things.
Running up that hill.
Sheryl Crow. And the most objectively correct one of all, Missy Elliott.
Oh, man.
All right, for our final tiebreak question, since you are both so evenly matched, we are looking for closest to the pin. How many Best Picture Oscar winners have there been with only one-word titles?
All right, excellent. So the number of Academy Award winners for Best Picture that have single-word titles. Kylie put 36. Dean put 4. The correct answer, including the hyphenated Ben-Hur, is 27. So Kylie is going to edge this out.
All right. What a game. That was so exciting and terrifying, and I had a very good time.
This was the equivalent of a playoff game, but in the middle of the season. This was crazy. So this is something you'd expect in one of the final rounds of Bloodsport.
Yeah, I feel bad that they both can't advance because they've outplayed so many of other prelim people today.
We'll have to figure out a way to maybe have these 2 compete once again. But Jeff, do you want to send our competitor home?
Absolutely, I do. So unfortunately, today, Dean, you reached for the oil to get yourself all ready to go, but it was actually honey, and you were swarmed by bees. So you got completely stung up, and you couldn't continue on in this epic competition, but no fault of your own. You played valiantly, and so well done. It was a real pleasure to have you. Kylie, we're going to be hearing more from you in our next round, and look forward to having you there.
Yep. Dean, any final words or any shout-outs before we let you go today?
Well, today, I'll just borrow a quote from, I think Mandela said it, especially when it comes to trivia. I either win... I never lose. I either win or I learn. So that applies today. I mean, I did lose, but it was more fun than to learn something. It's nice to win, but I mainly just want to have fun. So like I said, I either win or I learn.
That's our motto here. So we appreciate you being here today. And just for the fact this is such an entertaining game. And we can't wait to see, Kylie, how far you are able to go. But thank you both today. And Ryan, feel free to go grab a protein shake because we're going to be back for match 2 in just a minute.
All right. After that intense game, I think it's time to slow it down a little bit and thank our Patreon supporters. All our Bloodsport competitors this year are also patron supporters. A small perk along with all the other perks they get, including bonus episodes, stickers, boxes. There's all sorts of different levels. Just go visit us at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast and you can join us over there, and all of these rewards will be unlocked. Once you're done doing that, hit play and we can start for game 2.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
What will I become?
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
All right, and welcome into game 2 of the West Coast bracket. Kylie Diggs victorious in the first game. The winner of this matchup will go on to face her in the next round, so a lot at stake here. Joining us today will be Matt Takimoto from Oakland and Chris Scholes from Twin Falls, Idaho. Chris, how is it over in Idaho today?
You know, it feels like we finally got a little bit of spring in the air, which is different after a very long winter.
Yeah, I imagine the potatoes are doing well.
With all the wet we've had, they're not in the ground yet, but they'll get there soon. Tell McDonald's and all the rest of the French fry guys we've got them covered.
Well, excellent. Why don't you tell the folks home a little bit about yourself?
My name's Chris. I'm a dermatologist. I've been practicing for about 26 years, and I have a somewhat of an addiction to various trivia podcasts, and you guys are absolutely top on the list. And I'm rocking the Triviality sweatshirt.
A fantastic sweatshirt that you can get at tpublic.com/triviality. Always an opportunity to shill. We appreciate it. Well, good luck to you today, Chris. You will be going up against Matt Takimoto from Oakland. How are you today, sir?
I am very tired, but I am good. I am one of the thousands of Oakland teachers that are currently, as we record this, on strike for a better contract. So I spent all week walking the picket line and my brain is a little mushed. So Chris, you might have an advantage here.
Well, we wish you luck in all forms of that. Outside of teaching, what do you like to do for fun?
So I've been kind of more and more into the online trivia game the past few years. Still trying to, ride the wave off my Jeopardy win last year as much as I can. Although my partner is like, okay, it's been a year. That's enough of that. So,
well, if I learned from Twitter profile pictures, once on Jeopardy, always on Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's forever. It's forever your personality.
Well, good luck to you today as well. Also a fantastic name. I'm going to send it over to Ryan. Ryan, you got the questions. Let's get this game started.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with number 1 and do some geography. The Orange, Limpopo, and Vaal, V-A-A-L, rivers are all major waterways you could find in which country?
Orange immediately made me go to the Netherlands, and they do have lots of waterways in the Netherlands. But then Limpopo also. So I'm wondering, my thought was maybe somewhere in Africa that has like Dutch colonization roots, but also I don't know which country got colonized by whom very well. So I don't know. I'm doing a flyer that might be wrong, but I went with South Africa.
And Chris?
I actually went back and forth between 3 different countries, between South Africa and the Netherlands. I actually wound up with Norway locked in.
The correct answer is South Africa. Orange getting its name from that, Limpopo through several countries in the south. And there's an area of South Africa called the Transvaal that is notable. So South Africa for a point. Let's go to question number 2 and talk about high cinema. What actor made his acting debut in 1995 in 2 films, both involving, on some level, incest? Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, and Clueless.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a flyer and say Liam Neeson. But
Liam Neeson.
Really do not know. We'll lock
and
that
Matt.
up.
All right. So I don't know Halloween because scary movies are very scary and I don't like them. But I do know Clueless a decent amount and I can name some actors from it. So I went with Paul Rudd.
It is Paul Rudd for 1 point, correct. Let's move on to number 3 and get scientific. Though its name comes from the Greek for glowing, which star is more officially known as Alpha Canis Majoris?
So let's see. Canis Majoris. There is a dog star. I won't overthink it. I will just lock in with Sirius.
And Chris?
I locked in with the dog star, Sirius.
And it is correct for a point apiece. Moving from the stars to the heavens, if you will, for question number 4. The trinity of supreme divinity in Hinduism is made of Vishnu, Shiva, and which creator god? He's become substantially less important than the other 2 gods over the years as Hinduism has evolved.
I think that if you would have asked me to name 2 of the 3, I could have gotten the 2 you gave us pretty easily.
Oh, no.
The one that sticks in my head that I don't think is right, but I don't think I'm going to get to anything better is ka. So I'll lock that in.
With ka. And Matt?
I kind of had the same idea of like, oh yeah, Vishnu and Shiva, I know those. I'm not great. I'm not great on my gods in general. But I do know that it's a name, so I locked in with Brahma.
And it is Brahma for 1 point. Number 5. Sharing its name with a kind of bridge. Which style of bra is not supported by straps, but instead underwiring? This bra was designed by film director, plane fanatic, and overall recluse Howard Hughes.
Okay, the two that popped to mind that would both make at least some sense would be cantilever and suspension. You have the great misfortune of having two men on the program today.
Oh, no. That's why I like asking questions like this.
Yeah, confirmed non-bra wearer.
We are feminizing the trivia canon slowly but surely.
I'm still waiting for the question about male specific apparel, but I don't expect it's going to be coming.
That's for the Pride episode.
The cargo shorts question is next.
Oh God!
Yes, there you go.
I saw some meme the other day that said that the god awful butt rock of the 2000s was a military psyop to sell more camo, specifically camo cargo shorts. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to choose to believe that because it's more fun.
That's a fun conspiracy theory.
I like that.
No one.
Fred Durst is an agent of the government, actually.
I've always said that.
Oh, I'm going to say suspension. I think I picked the wrong one, but I'll lock in with that.
And Matt?
Well, if you picked the wrong one, I also picked the wrong one because I did flip the exact same coin and it came up suspension.
And the 25% chance has rung its head. It's cantilever.
Well, we were both in the right ballpark.
Yeah.
But I'll bet you a nickel if I ask my wife that question, she won't get it right either.
Hey, let's do number 6. Once, it's the title of a hit single by the Christian band Sixpence None the Richer. Thrice, it's the album on which you'd find the Cure songs Why Can't I Be You and Just Like Heaven. What is this phrase? You got a guess?
Let's lock in with Let's Go.
Let's Go. And Matt Takimoto?
It's the only Sixpence None the Richer song I know, and most people know. I think it's called Kiss Me.
Kiss Me is correct. The album being Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. If you listen to that song, Chris, you will be like, oh yeah, that song.
Probably.
Matt, where does that take us halfway through?
Halfway through, Chris with 1 and Matt with 5. He has been on fire so far.
Question number 7. Canadian-Moroccan internet personality Iman Anis is better known by the pseudonym Pokimane. She is the most followed woman on which platform?
I'm going to lock in.
All right, Matt, you're good to think aloud if you'd like.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on like name a platform. So I will just say TikTok.
I'm sort of proud of myself that I'd heard the name Pokimane before, but I had to take a guess on the platform, and I also said TikTok.
Yeah, the correct answer is Twitch. She's a game streamer.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You might remember her from the bathwater she sold.
That was...
Is that not her?
No, that was Belle Delphine.
Oh, that's right. I get them mixed up all
Not
the
that
time.
I'm proud of knowing that. Trivia does things to a person's brain.
Well, actually, about someone's bathwater selling is like not a great look.
I'm sort of pleased with myself that I know very little about this person.
Right.
You should. Let's go to number 8. Which fortified Sicilian wine is perhaps best known as the namesake of an Italian-American dish that notably features chicken and mushrooms?
Okay, when I think of chicken, mushrooms, and wine, my mind immediately goes to Marsala. But let's quickly think about if there's anything else I'm missing. No, we'll lock in with Marsala.
And Chris?
Every time I think I've got one right, Matt just runs right into it as well. I also said Marsala.
It is Marsala wine, absolutely. Let's go number 9. Which chemical element was discovered by Marie Curie in pitchblende, a uranium ore? It was then named after her homeland.
Well, she's got the two. One's named after her, and the other one's polonium. So I'll lock in with polonium.
This is what you get when you don't let somebody finish the question. I said curium.
It is polonium.
It's polonium.
After Poland.
Oh, you were so excited too.
Oh yeah, it's like finally science. Let's go. Get me away from Twitch and yeah.
Number 10. Let's go historical. The 1274 BC Battle of Kadesh, Kadesh, is generally believed to have been the largest battle ever fought using what conveyances? Around 5,000 to 6,000 were believed to have been used during this skirmish.
Is it a living conveyance or a non-living conveyance? That's kind of where I'm trying to guess here. I'm gonna say, I don't know if this is the right time. Why not? I will say elephants.
Elephants. And Chris?
I went absolutely full on Ben-Hur and said chariots.
And the correct answer is chariots.
Ah, nice.
Woo! I feel like I know exactly one thing that Matt didn't know.
Chariots popped through my head, but I was like, I don't know. I liked saying elephants.
I was in exactly the same boat, but my coin came up right this time. Sweet.
Thanks, Cosman. Let's go to number 11. Which British comedian is closely associated with the wacky and now arguably cliché song Yakety Sax, as it was frequently played over the credits of his long-running, highly rated namesake show?
I can lock in.
All right.
This is.
You can take it, Chris. Sorry.
Now you're into saxophone, which that I can speak. That'd be the Benny Hill show.
And Matt?
I also said Benny Hill.
It is Benny Hill, absolutely. We have question 12. Take an E, like the letter. Take an E out of a country's name, and you get the surname of which famous American pop art figure whose work often parodied and admired comic strips.
Lock in.
Oh, lock in, yeah.
All right, Matt, what do you have?
I had Roy Lichtenstein.
And Chris?
I don't have a graphic artistical bone in my entire body, but I do really like the art of Roy Lichtenstein.
As you should. Roy Lichtenstein is correct. Matt, where does that take us?
Yeah, it's a shame the game's ending now because Chris was really finding his stride at the end. He got 4 of the last 5 correct to have 5 total overall. But Matt was unstoppable with his leftover Oakland Raiders pads, I imagine, or whatever he was using to bludgeon Chris. He ended up with 9 today, and he will be moving on to round 2. So congratulations, Matt. We'll be hearing from you in the next round. So, Chris, any last words before we say adios?
No, I think pretty much all I'd say is be nice to one another. The weather hopefully is starting to get nice, so get out and do something exciting. And personal note to Matt, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Good luck with everything that you have going on right now. And hopefully we'll see the rest of you guys in a similar medium at some point soon. Have a wonderful day.
Absolutely. Thank you to both contestants and Ryan for writing all those questions. This time I'll send you to the locker room for some water and some stretching to get ready for the next game, which will be coming in next week. All right, and that will do it for today's episode. Thanks so much to our competitors and for Ryan for putting that game together. And as always, we are an Airwave Media podcast. You could check out our fellow Airwave Media podcasts such as The Conspirators, Pulse of the Planet, and Tumble, science podcast for kids. And we will see you next week for Bloodsport Episode 3.